Would be great.
Okay, let me share my screen first. So do you want me to go ahead or
Yes, go
who
ahead.
will come? Yeah, hi everyone. Sorry for this inconvenience, right? Maybe due to this power failure. So here we are going to cover this fifth session of this series. And as you know, this is the fifth session. So we already have uh, the fourth session we already have delivered in this series. You can come to this page community.uipath.com / Northern California, San Francisco. And you will see all these sessions, which is upcoming sessions. And today we are presenting this SAP automation with UiPath, that is SAP Test Automation. And you will see all these upcoming session here. And these are the sessions we already have delivered in past. You can go and feel free to check for this SAP GUI automation, SAP OData and point automation. That is nothing, that is a backend automation, SAP success factor and SAP Fury automation. So these sessions we already have delivered in September and October. So feel free to go and check. And these are upcoming sessions you can go and register for it. So yeah, today we have these team with us. So I am the speaker of this session. So I'm presenting this SAP Test Automation session. Along with me, we have Diana and Pankaj Banka. Um, Diana, do you want to cover this slide?
Yeah, just if you guys have anything that you'd like us to share with you, please just put it in chat. And then if you have any questions during the session, please put that in chat as well. Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, today we are presenting this SAP Test Automation. The next session is scheduled on April 2nd. So feel free to register for the SAP Solution Accelerator. So agenda of this session, we will start with SAP testing. That is SAP testing with UiPath, especially we are using the UiPath product. And how you can build your solution. So we are using UiPath Studio. You can build your UiPath. You can build any test cases with the help of UiPath Studio. Then you can publish this solution to Test Manager. I will walk you through how you can test your test cases. And we will also cover just a high level like heat map and CIA. CIA is the change impact analysis, how you can analyze your the changes which is impacted in your QA or development environment of SAP. So all these will analyzed by UiPath CIA, and will create a heat map for it, so that you can check like what is impacted, what is not impacted. And at the last, we will open the session for Q&A. So yeah, the test automation, like I said, it is not the new world. So the journey has started in 1970s, then 90s, 80s, then 1990s, and so forth. So initially it was started with manual testing. Then later it will move to the different applications. So currently we are using the UiPath as a testing tool, and UiPath testing tools come with a bundle called Test Suites. So it is nothing. It's come with UiPath robots and test manager and orchestrator. So all these coming together to make this more robust. You can build your solution with UiPath Studio. You can publish your solution to orchestrator, and you can manage all these testing life cycle with the help of test manager. So we can test any application. The application can be front end or GUI application, or we can test the application with API testing. And there we have two different of testing, like regression testing and end-to-end testing. So we will cover more all this in coming when we move through the demo. So as we are more focused on the SAP testing with the UiPath, so here we can test SAP GUI applications. and SAP Fury application. These two are the UI automations or UI testing, and we have another testing with API. So we can test with the help of OData services, with the help of REST API, right? So yeah, so the solution I have built for today's demo. So the screenshot you can see, we have built these solutions. So we are going to present this solution and also walk you through how you can choose the right template and how you can build this testing. Today we are going to create a sales order creation. So that's why I have created these solutions. And I can build this solution, I can submit these solutions to orchestrator, and will also run this solution through the test managers so that you can see how the test manager will look like and how we can build the test cases with the help of pre-built templates for SAP testing or any generic testing, and with the help of this UiPath Studio. So like I said, test manager is a part of test suite, so it will manage your entire testing life cycle. So UiPath test manager will also offer the trends you can see over there. You can also create a heat map for your testing, or you can assign your test cases to heat map so that you can see whether it is passed and failed. So all these will bring you to the one heat map, and you can import or export test cases. You can create a requirement. For requirement, you can also integrate with different integration tools available in the market like Jira and Microsoft ADO. And you can create test cases with the help of Autopilot. And you can create a test sets and many more things you can do with the help of this test manager. So here you can see the high level architecture of this test manager, how you can integrate different tool with this test manager. So you can start with UiPath product called UiPath Studio to build your test cases. You can push your test cases to any report tools, can be Microsoft ADO, and also you can build CI/CD pipeline to push the package into the orchestrator. Then you can run these test cases and you can test your application. The application can be any application. It is SAP, Salesforce, Oracle, any legacies applications as well. Then the result will push back to the orchestrator, and all these will push to the test manager. You will see all the logs with including the screenshots. So you will see whether it is passed and fail. All the validation you will go through this logs and screenshots, and also you can record the defect in case of failure. So you can use any kind of defect tool like Jira. So UiPath heat map, you will see this is the UiPath offering. It is not the new offering UiPath introduced later last year. So you will see this heat map. So how you can create this heat map with you can export the data from SAP. So UiPath have a proper documentation for it. So you can go through your SAP system, download the CSV file and import and create this heat map. There they have another options. You can integrate your test manager with your SAP system so that it can bring all the live data from there. So like I said, we have the CIA, so I will cover in the next slide. This heat map will bring all your transport into one screen, and you can attach test cases to any of the T codes you will see here. VA01. We have attached one test case is called sales order creation. So VA01 is for sales order creation. So we have attached the test cases. If the test cases is failed, the color will be changed from green to red. And if it is passed, the color will be changed from red to green. So UiPath also have the change impact analysis. It is also part of this heat map. So once you have the heat map, and for this change impact analysis, you are required the SAP transport unit. So it will also come with your license bundle. So you will reach out to your team. So they will check whether do you have the SAP transport units, because in order to run this change impact analyzer, so it will require one transport unit for one run. But if you already have run this transport and you are running this again, it will not consume your SAP transport unit. It will consume for new transports. So it will bring all these data, and you will see all these comes into different colors. So these are some resources we will share in the at the end of the sessions. So it may help you to start your test automation journey. So let's move to build the solution in UiPath. So we already have built some solution, but I will walk you through how you can choose the right template. So I'm just opening the UiPath Studio. So you will see UiPath has built different templates framework for different automations. You will see for attended automation, for long running automation. Most common automation framework is robotic enterprise framework. It is also called RE framework. So today we are going to choose this test automation framework. And if you are comfortable with different languages, so I'm comfortable with VB, so I'm just choosing the VB as a default language. You feel free to choose another language called C Sharp. So it is supporting two different languages. So once you are there, you will notice UiPath have created one test cases. It is nothing, just it is created for your reference. You can come here to see how the structure will look like. And by default, it is added the system activities and testing activities. But you feel free to, you can add many more packages here. So let me add the template first here. For any test automation, it is required to create one execution template. It is a kind of template, and there you can add many reusable component like you have seen in the RE frameworks. There we have pre-built solution for initializing your config file, deleting all the data, killing the process. Same way, you can also build some reusables component, and for in order to use those components, you can create execution template. And execution template also will allow you to attach your test cases, like your test cases will run under this execution template. So once I create the execution template, you will notice by default, they have added one placeholder activity. At the runtime, when you create your new test cases, it will be replaced with your test cases. So you maybe add here and there any of the reusables component. Let me add just a log message activity for this reference. This is just for the example, but in real scenarios, you can replace these messages with your reusables component, initializing your config, initializing your JSON file, maybe killing the process and deleting some leftover files. So you can build your reusables component and you can invoke it here. And this will be replaced with your actual test cases. I will show you. So once you created log messages, there is placeholder. It will be replaced at the runtime. Let me close this window. As this UiPath has created by default this case, it is no longer needed for me. So let me create it from scratch. So here you can see you can create sequences, flowchart, state machine. Same way you have the options to create a test cases, and you can rename it sales order creation. And you can choose your template which you have recently created once you click this. If you have a data source, you can choose your data source, existing data source, maybe create with autopilot, any file, data services, test data queue, auto generated. I'm leaving it a blank for now. So yeah, so once the test case is created, you will notice here by default it will be not publishable. Once you are ready, your development is ready. I would recommend once you are ready, then you can enable it for the publishable. Then it will be reflected in your orchestrator when you published going through this publish button. So you can come here and you can set as publishable, and you can here see, so it was disabled by default, but now it is enabled for publishable. So once it is ready, then you will see
Mohed, you're on mute. You need to unmute yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or-
Should I cover all these again?
Yeah, just start this a little bit, like 2 minutes back. You're good.
Okay. So let me, I think you maybe saying like I have created this decision template. So you can create this sales order creation by just clicking on this add. I have created these test cases. I rename these cases with sales order creation. You will see here. And also have attached this execution template, which I have created earlier, which is nothing just having the default placeholder activity, which will replace at the runtime with your actual test cases. And there I have added two more test log messages just to know like these are running in the execution template. And you will see these three sections have their own meanings. So given you can initialize your data table, you can initialize your application, maybe you can launch your SAP Fury or Salesforce. And in the when section, you can automate your SAP application. In the section you can add verify activity so that UiPath can take the screenshot and maybe some logs and reflect into the test manager. So these three sections are designed specifically for their requirement. So you also have to go and add your solutions. I will show you. I already have created for this sales order creation, but just to walk you through how you can choose this template, how you can create your execution template for your test cases, and how you can create your test cases and how you can publish these test cases. Before moving to the actual solution which I have built, so one more things are needed as a prerequisite. You have to link your test manager. There you can see it is disconnected. So you have to link first. So to link this, you have to come here under this project. You will see. So you have to copy till here. So how you can come this test manager? So you can come this three dot. You can scroll down, click on this test manager. If you don't see this test manager here, you can reach out to your admin. So he can enable this test manager services. Then you will see this test manager. Also, this test manager is required the tester named user license. So once they are allowing to access this test manager, so they also allow some user license for accessing this test manager. So once I copied this test manager URL, I'm back to this UiPath Studio and I have to put it here. You will see it is disconnected. Once I hit connected, and make sure you are connected with your right tenant, your right organization as well. You can see under this share, I'm connected with right organization. That's why it is connected. If you are getting some error, you have to check your tenants or your organization, right? It is connected. So these are some prerequisites. And another prerequisites, once you have created the test cases, you can click on it. You can click on this link to test manager. And I have created one project here. Let me go back here. TSP SAP regression testing. So I already have created it. When I connected with test manager, when I try to start the project here, TSP, you will see it will reflect here. And if I already have created any test cases and try to find TC test cases, if it is there, then I can link my test cases. So yeah, so these two things are the prerequisites. First, you have to link your test manager and you also link your test cases with your test manager. Then you can start building the solutions. Let's move on to the solution which I already have built. So yeah, let me start. I already have connected with my test manager. You will see it is connected. And you can also see my test cases also connected with my test manager. So these three sections you already have seen in past. And when I open this given section, you will see I have built one data table for the execution summary. At the end of the execution, maybe you have to take a screenshot, maybe you have to prepare some Excel file. So you have to make sure that you have to build some data table. And at the runtime, you can record this data table, and at the end of the execution, you can send this as an Excel file or maybe any other, maybe you can use Word file as well. So I'm building the data, this data table for execution summary report, then killing some process if it is already open. Then I have built one reusables component called login into the SAP. So these reusables come under this reusables component. So yeah, I have created this to log into the SAP, and I'm just invoking it here in the given sections. Let's move to the when sections. There we are actually navigating through the SAP easy access screen, calling some transaction code. So yeah, these are some pre-built activities. UiPath have built some activities for SAP automation. You can come under these activities, try to search SAP, and you will see all these pre-built activities. And these activities come with this package, UiPath.UI automation.activities. Have to make sure this package should be installed, and make sure preview if you are working with your organization and building the solution, production grade solution. Make sure don't include any preview activity. Make sure all these activities or packages should be the stable one. So in order to choose the right package, you can come here in manage packages, click on all packages, and you can choose your packages. If the package is already installed on yours, so you can come under this project dependencies. You will see your packages are here. If you see this preview, you can replace this preview with this stable one, and you can click on update and save. So these packages I have added as per the requirement: the Excel, Microsoft Office, system activities, and testing. And I have created some execution summary template and reusables component, that is SAP login. And here at the right, you will see all these are the object repositories. All these can also act as a reusables. Just you can create one, you can add your activity as a object repository. Then you can just, in case of required later use, you can just click on this and drag and drop it anywhere if you require. So here I'm just calling the VA02 transaction code to create the sales order. I'm adding some activities, type into activities to add some values to create the order. And I have added this verify activity to take the screenshot, whether it is failed or passed. And also I'm adding some titles and the output message. I will show you once I move to the test manager. So how it will look like, how the screenshot will be taken by this activity. But yeah, this activity. So this is not the only activity. We have 4 activities. Not 4, it is 6. So verify control attribute, document equivalence, expression with operator, range, and text equivalence. So these are required to verify, and these all come under the test automation packages. Once you added all these activities for the sales order creation automation, you will see. Usually I have added the type into activity because I have required to input some values to create the sales order, the ship to party, sold to party, material number, quantity, and reference number as a like PO number. So these are some type into activity I have used, and also I'm just validating some data to taking the screenshot, just adding this verify activity, and also adding the check app state to check any unknown pop-ups. And also using the pre-built SAP activity to read the status bar, and adding some regex to extract the sales order number, adding some delay. And in this section, you will see I'm just adding add data row. In the given section, you have seen I'm building some table that is for execution table. So I'm just adding the value in the execution summary report, writing into the Excel file, attaching to the test manager. So the solution is completed. So once it is ready, so make sure it is connected with your test manager, and your solution is like test cases will also be connected with your test manager. You can publish it in your orchestrator. Yeah, let's move to the test manager. So once your solution is published into the orchestrator, and the next part you will start with test manager. If you have the test manager license, then you can come on this test manager. And for, like I said, accessing the test manager will also require the tester named user license. So make sure you have these 2 licenses you are allocated to access the test manager. And if you haven't created your projects, you can come here to create your project, or maybe you can import your project you have exported earlier. So I already have created this TSP SAP regression testing. I can come to this project. You will see it will start with dashboard. There we have a trends. It is success failure for past 3 months. You can select daily and weekly from here. And you will see the indicator, it is passed, failed, or none. And all the attachment which I have used within this test manager will come under this attachment tabs. So you have seen in the previous slide, we have speak about this heat map. So heat map, you will see these are heat map. I will show you like how you can create this heat map with the help of the CSV file. But CSV file is not just a raw file. You have to check with your SAP team. They can provide some data. Maybe they can export these data from SAP. Then you can upload it here. But the format should you have to go through the UiPath official documentation for the CIE or heat map creation. So I have attached one test cases with VA01. That's why it is success or failed. So you can see all these are in white color, but this is in the red color, maybe green color, because I have created this test cases and attached to this heat map. So I will show you like how we can do this. Then we have another option called requirement. Like I said, you can integrate with this test manager with your Jira or Microsoft ADO so that you can create requirement from here or from there as well. And you can integrate your requirement. Once you create the requirement in ADO, it will sync with this requirement. It will reflect here. And how you can do it, you can create this requirement by clicking on this button, provide some values, and how this requirement will look like. So you can add some description here. Along with you can add some label. And under this document section, you can upload some reference document. And you can generate this test with the help of requirement document. You can generate the test cases. There we have the option called autopilot. So you can come here, upload your PDF or the requirement document. And at the next screen, you will see it will ask you to provide some prompt. And autopilot itself will create a test cases for you here. And this is the new feature, leverage RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So with the help of this, you can add some reference document under any of your folder, and your autopilot go navigate to your rack first, then it will create your test cases here. So it's a very advanced topic. Maybe we will cover in later sessions. So requirement document, like I said, you can integrate with your Jira already. Come under this test cases. You can create test cases. Maybe you can import test cases. Just click on start importing. Here again, we have the autopilot. You can upload your Excel file, and your Excel file, maybe you are exporting some requirement from any of the ALM tools, and you can upload your Excel file here, and you can pass prompt, and autopilot create all the test cases by navigating through your Excel file and what prompt you have passed to create this cases. It will create all the test cases here, and you can change the test cases, you can edit the test cases if it is not correct as per your requirement. So I have created this test case for sales order creation, and these test sets, you can group your test cases or maybe similar type of test cases by creating a test sets. And you can add, once you create this test case, just click on this. Like I said, test sets, it's a group of test cases. You can create a one test set, and under this test set, you can add many test cases. So I have added one test case here. Maybe you have 10 and 100 test cases, right? So this test sets have one test cases, and maybe in the real scenario, you have 100 or 10, and you can change the order as well. So you can enforce and come under this configuration, enable RPA activity coverage calculation, enforce execution order. Like these test cases had 100 or 10 test cases. So if you want to execute this first, then you can add test cases in the sequential manner so that it will start from here, 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 so on. So we have executions. So all the executions will come under these executions settings. So whether it is failed, you will see. If it is passed, it will mark as a passed, and color indicator, you will see it. green. If it is failed, it will mark as a failed and color will be changed from green to red. So I have tested just now, so you can see so how the execution will look like. All the duration, how much time it has taken, whether it is failed or passed. And let me click on this. So under these assertions, you will see all these are passed, but it is having the screenshot as well because I have added the verify activity. So you will see where I have added this screen verify activities as taking the screenshot. And there we have the option called if it is failed or passed. So you can choose where you want to take the screenshot. If you want to take the screenshot, if it is passed, then you can check the toggle here. You will see all these toggles. We have these two options, right? Take a screenshot if failed. So if you want to take it, the screenshot, you can mark it true. If you want to take a screenshot if it is succeed, then you can mark it true. So all this screenshot has been taken by this activity and reflected in this test manager. So yeah, these screenshot maybe as per the requirement document, you can have as many for your reference, for your audit purposes. There we have the logs, so all the logs which we have added in the test automation scripts. So the log will reflect under this log section. The attachment, you will see we have added one attachment. You can click on this download and click on open. You will see this is this we have prepared during the execution. The solution you have seen here. So we are creating one table, data table. This data table, we are creating one Excel file with the help of this right range activity. Then we are adding one activity called attach document. This activity is attaching this execution summary report into the test manager. That's why you are having this here in the test manager. And you will see all this data which have been used by this process to create a sales order. This is the execution result, the sales order created, and the execution status here. And then we have project settings. Under this setting, you can manage the roles. So all the roles are managed here with the help of this, and it is only allowed to the uh, test manager or the admin. So only admin can allow to access this project setting because these are required some access, right? And there we have multiple tabs. So we will focus on the manage access and integration here. And under this integration, you have seen we have a heat map. So we have created this heat map with the help of this integration called SAP. So I already have added this integration. That's why it is not reflecting under this new connection. So you can edit, and there we have the option called upload CSV. You can upload the CSV, but it is not the plain CSV. You have to, you are required some expertise to download the CSV data from SAP. And there we have the option called connect to SAP instance with RFC. So it will require many other details, right? So application server, system IDs, instance number. So these are maybe you can check with your SAP team. They can, maybe SAP basis team, they can provide all these details. Or maybe you can allow the SAP basis team to access this project setting. And they will provide all these detail here to establish a connection for you for the CI and heat map. We are just covering a very high level because it's a very big topic, so it will require more times to cover in. It is not we can cover in a very short time. So just we are covering the upload CSV, and with the help of this CSV, we are generating the heat map here. And you can add as many as connection you want here, maybe Jira or ADO with the help of this webhook. So these are required some details. So there we have an official document. So you can go under this ALM tool integrations, and you can come here and you can check all the prerequisites, and you can also how we can connect with the change impact analysis. You can see here we have this document, UiPath docs, test manager automation cloud. Once you are navigated to this page, you will see all these details here. So you will see analyze transports are required, And these are some prerequisites you can navigate through to generate this heat map and CIA. So yeah, so we have a solution. Let me run this solution. Let to cover this demo here. Yeah, we are connected. So we have this solution, sales order creation. So we can come under the test sets. And as we only have one test set, so we will run this process. Maybe for sales order creation, we can have multiple test sets or test cases to cover the end-to-end testing or maybe regression testing. So currently I'm just doing a regression testing for this sales order creation only. So let me start the execution. You will see uh, we can manually set the execution status. Like I'm just doing the SAP testing manually and doing some part of the sales order creation. If I want to quickly do it manually, then I can come here and I can set the status of this test case manually, like it is failed or passed, and it will reflect here. You will see we have the options to manually set the status, whether it is failed or passed with your comments here, tester comments. So let me set as a field for now to show you like how we can set the status as a field manually. Then I can execute an automated test case. Such as a marking as a field, you will see. This field you will see. Without running the process, I can mark as a field because I'm just doing it manually. So let me run this process in automated. So already have published the code. We have a code available in the orchestrator and we have connected these test cases with the code. So let me click on this automated testing. You will see under this execution, you will see the status of the execution. Let me minimize it and you will see what UiPath. You can see the UiPath Studio started running in UiPath Assistant. So it will create the sales order in SAP. You can see the sales order has been created 1663 and the same result should also be reflected on the test manager. I will walk you through. Yeah. So execution, it is pending. Let me refresh it so that the status should be changed from running to completed. It is still running. Yeah, so it has completed. So let me click on it. Comes under this link and you will see. So it just has completed 2 minutes back. I will walk you through all the screenshot has been taken by this process, the data which we have entered. And the last you will see the screenshot has been taken 11663. And along with this screenshot, it also has created the Excel execution template and which we can click on it. You have seen earlier. This is just for the reference, but as per the actual requirement, you can build different templates. Maybe it is on Word file or Excel file, any other file format. So you can see the sales order created with this number 11663. Yeah, same number. So the last things we have to cover, the integration part, you already have seen. We have the integration capabilities. You can integrate with your Microsoft ADO. You can create a project here and you can come on any of the project SAP testing. But it requires some expertise, the Microsoft DevOps expertise. So once you created this project, you can come under this project setting, and there we already have added this extension, UiPath extension. But if you want to add this UiPath Test Manager's extension, you can come here under this marketplace, browse marketplace, and try to search UiPath Test Manager. Just select the UiPath Test Manager, get it free. As I already included, you can see this extension is already there. But if in your case, you will see the button here to click on and add this extension. Once you are done, you can come back and come under this extension, settings, extensions, and you will see the UiPath Test Manager. And here you can include what you are required to. Bugs, epics, features, issues, tasks, and user story. There are some admin privileges needed, so you have to connect with your admin to provide the server URL API keys. These you can generate in UiPath and provide it here. And you can click on manage test cases with ADO. So once you created any defects, it will be reflected here. Once you create any requirement here, it should be reflected in the UiPath Test Manager. So yeah, that is all about this UiPath, SAP testing with UiPath.
Feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions. Guys, there are some questions on the chat if you can take a look at it.
Sure.
I know we just have 4 minutes, so I mean, if you can take some questions, couple of them, and answer later on, rest of them, that'd be awesome.
So addressing the last question from Vittal, so we can create data source can be anything. It can be your test data cube, it can be your Excel file, or it can be your data services as well. So depends upon your requirement. If you are doing regression testing, so maybe you can create a test data in data services. You can use the same data again for your regression testing, or maybe different data like for regression. Sorry, it is for the end-to-end testing. So you can use the same data for your end-to-end testing. For regression testing, you might have uh, 10 to 12 data or maybe 100 data. You can add in your Excel file. Maybe you can create test data queue, and the process will be triggered and use this different data and generate the execution results. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, so integrating with Azure, so UiPath have official documentation, so it will require your admin access from the Microsoft ADO site, so you can navigate through the marketplace. First, you can browse to UiPath Test Manager. You can add this extension, and then you can come back to UiPath Test Manager, come under this integration section. Then you can create your service URL and API key. Then there is some lots back and forth are needed from test manager to ADO and required admin privileges. Yeah, so with coming to the Victor questions like given when then, so for all the initializations like you are launching applications, you are building some data tables, and you are closing the application. So all these come under these given sections. In the when section, you can add your the actual automation, test automation activities, like you are navigating through the SAP, you are navigating through the VA01T codes, and passing some data to create the sales order. So these things you can add into the when sections. And we have the another section called given when then section. There you can add your verify activity, you can add your usable component for closing all the open application. Also, you can add one reusable for sending your execution summary report in email as an attachment.
Thank you. I think that's all the time we have today for questions. So I just want to thank everybody for coming, and Mohed, thank you so much for delivering this presentation today, and Umesh and Pankaj, thank you as well for being here to support. And
Thank you,
don't
everyone.
forget, everybody, to register for our next session. I put that URL in the chat. So if you want to grab that, I'll just stay on for another minute. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.